Springtime is a wonderful time to visit the United States national parks. The weather is great, the crowds are smaller, and you get to experience the most dynamic season. But with so many parks bursting with new life, where do you even begin? Join us as we uncovers the top 10 must-visit national parks best visited in the spring. This video captures the awe-inspiring geothermal displays of Yellowstone, the thundering waterfalls of Yosemite, and the Smokies' diversity of blooming flora, and so much more. We also created a free PDF to everything in this video. Stick around, and we'll show you how to get our free resource. Join us now for the top 10 U.S. national parks best experienced in the spring. As you embrace the spirit of spring, there's no place that heralds the season's arrival quite like Yellowstone National Park, a majestic land sprawled across Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. Here, nature orchestrates a symphony of melting snow and emerging life that can only be described as magical. Imagine wandering through a vast canvas where geothermal wonders meet the dawn of a new cycle. At Yellowstone, iconic geysers, including the world-renowned Old Faithful, burst with renewed vigor as if celebrating the season. The sight of these natural fountains, shooting sky-high streams of boiling water and steam, is a spectacle that becomes even more enchanting against the backdrop of a landscape shrugging off winter's white blanket. As you thread through this thawing wonderland, each turn on the trail brings you face to face with scenes of wildlife reawakening. Bears rouse from their deep slumber, and you might just catch a glimpse of a mother guiding her new cubs through the forest, teaching them the ways of the wild. Wolf packs roam with a sense of purpose, hunting in the soft light of dawn, while enormous bison graze on the tender green shoots carpeting the open valleys. But there's more to Yellowstone's springtime charm than geysers and large mammals. Peer a bit closer to the ground, and you'll notice splashes of color breaking through the earth. Wildflowers begin their silent takeover, speckling the terrain with purples, yellows, and reds. Each bloom underfoot adds to the vibrancy emerging all around. A journey here would be incomplete without visiting the Grand Prismatic Spring, an ethereal pool of hot water adorned with rings of brilliant hues, a result of heat-loving microorganisms thriving in the mineral-rich waters. Here's a pro tip. Find a higher vantage point along the nearby trails to get the full visual feast of this colorful marvel. In Yellowstone, you get a front-row seat to the beauty of life beginning anew. It's where you can watch baby animals take their first timid steps, and the world around them blooms in celebration. Spring in Yellowstone isn't just a season, it's a vibrant renewal of life. There's no doubt Yellowstone is a must-do and must-see in the list of national parks to visit in the spring.
As Yellowstone shakes off the weight of winter, a world away in Yosemite National Park, the waterfalls are putting on a show you won't want to miss. Spring ushers in the grand dance of water and light. Fed by the melting high country snow, torrents of water plunge over granite cliffs, and Yosemite Falls, the park's crown jewel, transforms into a roaring beacon that can be heard before it's seen. Imagine standing in the midst of Yosemite Falls, feeling the spray of ice-cold water on your face. It's like nothing else. The falls are at their most majestic, and the valley is alive with the music of rushing water. El Capitan and Half Dome, the park's mighty granite sentinels, stand watch over this natural marvel. Their sheer faces, often swathed with wisps of cloud or clear against a blue sky, are a climber's and photographer's dream. But it's not just the waterfalls and rock faces that define Yosemite in the spring. This is the time for wildflowers to carpet the meadows with splashes of color, lupins, poppies, and redbuds, almost as if the earth were celebrating. Meander through these blooming fields on one of the park's wildflower walks. They're casual, they're free, and they're guided by those who know these trails like the back of their hand. And then there's the moonbow, a nighttime rainbow conjured by the mist of the falls under the light of the full moon. Gathering to witness this lunar rainbow is a rite of passage here. The subtle hues caught in the silver light, a spectacle both enigmatic and breathtaking. So while the thrill of seeing a landscape born anew in Yellowstone is a must, the resounding echo of waterfalls in full symphony amid the towering cliffs and blooming valleys of Yosemite is a springtime marvel that belongs on every traveler's list. This is Yosemite's season of water and wonder. Don't miss the chance to experience it. As you hike to Half Dome, El Capitan, or Cloud's Rest, there's spectacular waterfalls along the way. This is why Yosemite is a must-do thing in the spring.
As the snow gives way to the warmth in Yosemite, an entirely different kind of awakening stirs in the east, where the Great Smoky Mountains National Park straddles the border between Tennessee and North Carolina. The Smokies charm us with an understated elegance, a soft quilt of nature waking up to the season. The Cherokee people consider the mountains sacred and believe they were chosen to care for them. The name Smoky Mountains comes from the Cherokee word shakanich, which means place of blue smoke. Here, in America's most visited national park, spring unfurls like a patchwork of wildflowers across the sprawling landscape. You might hear folks round these parts talk about the Smokies as if they're kin, with a fondness that's contagious. It's beautiful and it's just plain old serene. With over 1,500 kinds of flowering plants, more than any other national park, you'll find yourself wandering through a living mosaic of dogwoods, trilliums, and violets. As the winter layers shed, you can traipse through trails with names like Chimney Tops and Rainbow Falls, where each corner turned is a burst of new life. Don't forget the crown jewel of the park, Clingman's Dome, standing as the highest point in Tennessee. Take the winding path up to the observation tower and catch your breath, not just from the walk, but from the sweeping views across miles of folded green terrain. On a clear day, you'll see the world from the eyes of an eagle. But the Smokies aren't all daylight and wildflower meadows. As dusk creeps across the valleys, one of the park's most enchanting spectacles begins. The synchronous firefly display is something you'd expect out of a fairy tale. Every year, for a few magical nights in late spring, these little flying lanterns coordinate in a dance that twinkles through the darkness, shining in perfect harmony. It's an event that brings families, friends, and strangers together under the canopy of stars, united in hushed amazement. Within the park's vast expanse is Cades Cove, an open valley where you can often see wildlife roaming at the edge of day. Take a drive or bike along the loop road at sunrise to spy on white-tailed deer grazing. And if you're as quiet as a shadow, you might just be lucky enough to spot black bears ambling along with their cubs. Springtime is as good as any other time to visit the Great Smoky Mountains. Usually, it's not as busy in February, March, and April, but the longer you wait, the more busy it'll quickly become.
As the Great Smoky Mountains gradually retreat in the rear view, close your eyes and imagine standing on the edge of an ancient wonder, gazing upon layers of Earth history painted in ochre and crimson, without a sea of heads to block your view. Springtime in the Grand Canyon brings a rare opportunity to marvel at this panoramic marvel, with a bit more breathing room. The Grand Canyon isn't just a sight to behold, it's a full-fledged experience. The South Rim, open year-round, offers some of the most iconic vistas that have graced countless cameras and hearts. It's the perfect place to watch the sun play with shades of red and orange across the canyon walls, transforming the scenery minute by minute. Though the North Rim remains quietly under snow's spell until later in the season, its anticipated opening in May is an event in itself for those hoping to explore less trodden paths. Don't forget the mighty Colorado River, carving its way through the canyon, a lifeline that has shaped the landscape for millions of years. With the coming of spring, the river shakes off its chilly cloak, inviting the bravest adventurers to ride its rapids. Rafting season embarks, casting off into spirited waters, and you'd be right there in the heart of the canyon's most thrilling tales. Spring means milder weather, ideal for hiking without the summer's punishing heat. Paths like Bright Angel or South Kaibab Trail slowly re-emerge from winter, allowing foot travelers to wander amid the canyon's magnificence with a comfortable breeze to accompany their journey. In the summer, More hikers face heat strokes or experience other temperature-related dangers. Winter and early spring is also a lot less busy. Whether you're watching the sunrise paint the sky from Yavapai Point or listening to the whispers of the pines on the North Rim, you'll find some tranquility in rocks that just move at a different pace than what we're used to. So take the time to stop, breathe, and look around. There's no rush here.
As the Grand Canyon bids you farewell with its vast and venerable grandeur, another marvel of nature whispers your name with a burst of life and color. Whispering, too, are the locals, who know that Zion National Park is spring's secret canvas, a place where warm hues of red rock cliffs are softened by the tender greens of new leaves and punctuated by the vibrant wildflowers blooming underfoot. In this corner of Utah, spring ushers in a symphony of colors, enchanting visitors with its contrast against the imposing, towering rocks. Shades you couldn't even imagine fill the landscape, painting scenes so vivid they seem plucked straight from a dream. The park's sandstone cliffs are among the oldest on our planet, but each sprouting bud and blossoming flower reminds us that here, life begins anew each spring. Angel's Landing, known for its thrilling hike culminating in one of the most breathtaking panoramic views you'll ever set eyes on, invites the brave. The trail might test your mettle, but the reward at the top is a sweeping vista that will engrave itself in your memory. The Narrows, another of Zion's jewels, offers a hike unlike any other, a trek through a river-carved canyon so majestic it borders on the spiritual. And then there's the Emerald Pools, an oasis that feels like the park's best-kept secret. With gentle trails leading to tranquil pools and waterfalls, the journey to these natural gems is accessible to anyone looking to capture a piece of Zion's magic. Spring in Zion means milder temperatures, perfect for hiking and exploring without the weight of the summer heat. The chill of winter has barely said its goodbyes, giving way to that pleasant coolness that makes every step in the open air that much sweeter. Perhaps it's no surprise that there tend to be fewer visitors this time of year, offering a sense of solitude and intimacy with nature that can sometimes be elusive. Listen, the locals might not outwardly brag about the wonder that is Zion in the spring, but their beaming faces and eagerness to share the best trail tips speak volumes. They know that this national park is a place where each twist and turn can reveal a new natural wonder, where every glance upward is met with towering rock faces that protect the valleys and their secrets like silent guardians of the past. Many locals think Zion is one-of-a-kind national park, but recently, a lot more tourism is putting a strain on the infrastructure. When you visit in spring, you'll find that it's less busy as well, so it's a win-win for you when you explore this beautiful landscape.
As the desert hues of Zion give way to a miraculous canvas of color, your adventure leads you northwest, where green giants rise and veils of mist dance through the treetops. Welcome to Olympic National Park in Washington, a domain where the air is thick, and each drop of rain nourishes an ecosystem. You've heard tales of the Hoh Rainforest, a sanctuary of silence guarded by age-old trees that inch their way to the heavens. In spring, this landscape undergoes a transformation so profound, it feels as though the forest floor itself is breathing new life. The moss carpets grow lush and vibrant, their shocking greens a stark contrast to the dark, wet bark of the trees from which they hang. As you wander through, the rhythmic drip from leaf to leaf is the only soundtrack you'll need. And if the mere thought of this rainforest sanctuary stirs your soul, then wait until you stand upon Hurricane Ridge. The name may sound fierce, but in spring, it's a place of tranquility where snow-capped peaks cradle valley meadows about to burst into a sea of wildflowers. Dare to arrive at dawn, and you might just see the golden light of sunrise spilling over the mountains, setting the world aglow with a quiet warmth only found here. But perhaps the most enchanting spring performance comes courtesy of the Solduc Falls. The winter snow melts away, adding strength and voice to these already magnificent cascades. It's a symphony of water on rock, a display of nature's power as misty sprays throw rainbows into the air for those lucky enough to witness. The park itself spans from mountain peaks to the Pacific coast. In a park as diverse as Olympic, you can experience so much in a little time. A visit in springtime ensures a front-row seat to a perennial reawakening, where the cycle of life greets visitors with open arms and an endless embrace. If you visit the Northwest during springtime, the Olympic National Park is certainly a must-do thing.
As the chorus of waterfalls in the Olympic Mountains fades, a new symphony begins on the rugged shores of Maine 3,000 miles away. In spring, Acadia National Park is a treasure trove of rocky coastlines and towering pine trees swaying to the rhythm of the Atlantic Ocean's breeze. Here, at the edge of the continent, you'll find nature performing its grandest acts. The Cadillac Mountain is the first place in the United States to greet the sun each morning. The break of dawn is a legendary experience here in Acadia, as the sky blushes with hues of pink and orange, casting a warm glow over the Porcupine Islands. Locals often say that a sunrise on Cadillac isn't just seen, it's felt. As you travel the historic Park Loop Road, a 27-mile journey weaving through the heart of the park, be captivated by the vistas of a landscape shaking off the last whispers of winter. Each turn unveils a canvas of sprouting greenery and blooming wildflowers, a vibrant contrast to the deep blue backdrop of the ocean. Jordan Pond, ringed by mountains and graced by the famed bubbles, provides a serene spot for an afternoon ramble or a picnic by the water's edge. Look closely and you might catch the joyful dance of warblers darting through the trees or hear the soothing call of seabirds that herald the season of renewal. Bird watchers flock here with their binoculars, eager for a glimpse of feathered travelers returning north. And true to the spirit of spring, the whole park becomes a bustling hub of winged activity, celebrating the arrival of warmer days. Take a moment to soak it all in, this coastal awakening, where the sea meets the sky and the charm of spring is palpable in the salty air. Acadia National Park whispers of ancient tales etched in its cliffs and is alive with the possibility that only spring can bring.
Leaving behind the expansive ocean horizon of Acadia, our journey now climbs to dramatic elevations where nature's grandeur unfolds under a crystal-clear sky. Let's venture to Rocky Mountain National Park, a wonderland where the rugged peaks of the Colorado Rockies are draped in the last of winter's snow, presiding over valleys that are stirring back to life. Imagine a landscape so vibrant, its beauty demands a moment of silent awe. That's Rocky Mountain National Park in the spring. The park is a canvas where warm sunbeams kiss the icy peaks, ushering rivulets of melting snow down to the awakening valleys below. It's a natural carousel of life that invites you to watch, listen, and reconnect with the wild. Trail Ridge Road, heralded as one of America's most scenic drives, takes you on a serpentine journey through landscapes so breathtaking you might find yourself stopping at every turn, just to let it all sink in. But remember, this alpine road can be a late bloomer, often not fully accessible until the final snow has relinquished its hold on the high country. Still, the anticipation of its grand opening is a part of the season's charm. Crystalline waters beckon from Bear Lake, reflecting the surrounding giants in its glassy surface. A stroll around the lake is an immersion in tranquility. The stillness of the water is only pierced by the distant call of a lone elk. Speaking of which, the elk and bighorn sheep are local celebrities around here. Come spring, they descend to the park's meadows, offering a glimpse into their world. Gentle and composed, they grace the park's wild pastures, often not minding the admiring glances of passersby. As for the Alpine Visitor Center, it's perched high in the sky, a testament to humanity's reverence for nature's towering creations. Here, at the top of the world, the horizon stretches indefinitely, bordered by snow-covered pinnacles and electric blue skies. One of spring's most precious gifts here is the music of water in motion. As the warmth seeps into the valleys, the grand thaw accelerates, and the park sings with rushing streams. These waters signal the rebirth of the land, carving their way through the thawing high country, breathing life into the park with every passing moment. When you see the mountains wake up, then you'd understand why we think visiting the Rockies in the spring is a must-do thing.
As we venture further east, where the Blue Ridge Mountains roll like gentle waves across the horizon, spring unfurls in a symphony of colors at Shenandoah National Park. Here, high in the Virginia sky, a cascade of natural wonders awaits. Infused with the fresh scent of dogwood and the delicate hues of redbud trees in bloom, Shenandoah is a realm where Mother Nature adorns herself with floral finery. Skyline Drive, a ribbon of road that curves and weaves with the mountains, offers a front-row seat to this pageant of spring. Imagine cruising with your windows down, the cool breeze playing with your hair, and a panorama of verdant valleys and flowering forests stretching out before you. From Skyline Drive, why not stray onto a trail and feel the embrace of the wilderness? Dark Hollow Falls is particularly enchanting. Follow the murmur of cascading water on a tranquil hike, and soon enough, you'll find yourself standing before a waterfall that sparkles. For those who seek the thrill of an invigorating climb, consider Old Rag Mountain. The reward for this adventurous ascent is views that stretch far into the distance. In spring, Shenandoah Park comes alive. Keep an eye out, and you might spot white-tailed deer prancing through the underbrush or hear the song of a warbler punctuating the stillness. Some locals find Shenandoah unremarkable, but that's perfectly okay. Its simplicity and natural beauty is still something that you find yourself in, especially at springtime.
As the delicate dance of Shenandoah's spring finds its finale, a different kind of performance takes center stage across the country in the arid Southwest. Joshua Tree National Park, a marvel of the Mojave and Colorado deserts, unfolds a springtime act that seems almost otherworldly in comparison. Here, the arid landscape undergoes a mesmerizing transformation. Imagine a place where the rugged terrain, often thought of as unyielding, softens beneath a kaleidoscope of wildflowers. This isn't a mirage, it's the desert in full vibrant bloom. Joshua Tree's iconic Cholla cactus garden becomes a canvas for nature's finest artwork, with spiky cacti festooned with delicate flowers, a striking contrast that has to be seen to be believed. Under the soft light of dawn or the fiery hues of dusk, this garden is a photographer's dream. It's almost as if each cactus is competing for attention, showcasing blooms that sparkle like jewels. Then there's Arch Rock, an incredible natural sculpture that seems to defy logic with its gracefully balanced form. The way the sunrise or sunset light filters through the arch creates a spectacle that's both simple and profound, a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary beauty is found in the quiet corners of the world. At Keys View, you'll catch a vista so broad and breathtaking that it offers a new perspective on life's expansiveness. Here, whether enveloped in the soft pastel dawn or looking out as the day's last light paints the sky, you see the world differently, with valleys and mountain ranges spanning the horizon. And with the cooler temperatures of spring, wandering these panoramic sights is nothing short of a balm to the soul. The joys of spring in Joshua Tree are not limited to the visual. They're woven into the cool touch of the air on your skin and the tranquil quietude that envelopes you, broken only by the whisper of the breeze or the distant call of a desert denizen. Spring awakens the slumbering desert, igniting a brief but fiery display of life in a place where every blooming cactus and every sprouting wildflower is a tiny miracle. The desert's seemingly barren landscape is suddenly awash with color, from the delicate yellows and purples to the bold oranges and reds. Joshua Tree is busiest in March, but becomes less busy as we move towards summer. It's also one of the top 3 parks for RV campers. If you visit in spring, keep that in mind, but this is why a visit to Joshua Tree is an absolute must-do in spring.
This concludes our selection of the top 10 national parks in the spring. We've spent a lot of time and resources to put this together, so we hope you found it as enjoyable as we did. Spring is a great time to visit the U.S. national parks as they tend to have the best weather, but it also tends to be less busy. Please share in the comments what you think of our selection, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more must-do things. We've created a free guide to everything we talked about in this video. Simply go to the address on your screen or search for mustdothings.com. What's even better is that we'll always have free guides for many other destinations as well. So whether you're visiting soon or enjoying it all from the comfort of your home, be sure to subscribe. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We'll see you next time, in another place, on another adventure.